body bags were horror lies.
Who is this irresistible creature who has an insatiable love for the dead?
Hey guys, happy Thursday, this is your Fright Chick speaking. Okay, so this week's theme is horror movies that begin with B. So I've picked 2005's Boogeyman rental copy Class A. Okay, so I really don't know how I feel about this. I'm probably going to slack it off and praise it in equal measure. The basic premise of Boogeyman is Tim Jensen, who as a child, the whole first 15 minutes basically does this whole child flashback thing. When he was a child, his dad was drawn into the closet by the Boogeyman and never seen again. They pretty much set this up by just showing the creepy room where he's trying to sleep. His dad's going around the room like, look under the bed, there's nothing there. Oh, look here, there's nothing there, you're fine. And then he opens a closet and he's going, oh, look in the closet, there's nothing in there. And he gets pulled in by the Boogeyman. So that sets up the tone of the movie because you're A, aware that the Boogeyman is real in this world, and B, that it's going to be a lot of jump scares. So he's grown up now and he's been traumatised for life. I think he grew up in like a psychiatric ward after that, and he has taken serious measures to make sure that there are no closets in his house. I think he took all the doors off. He sleeps on a mattress, so there's no under the bed anymore, and it's just ruled his life really. But he does have a girlfriend, yay for him! So he goes to meet his girlfriend's parents, and it's a bit awkward at first, and the movie's not really going anywhere at this point. But then he has a premonition, of course he has a premonition, they always do, of his mother telling him he needs to go back home, blah blah blah. And then he finds out that she died. This is not a spoiler, we never meet this woman. So she dies, and that gives him the way in to go back to his hometown, his childhood home, and kind of rekindle the fear of the Boogeyman and explore it a little bit as an adult now. That's pretty much what happens in the whole movie. It's a really slow burn, I'm not going to lie. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, like when they walk down a corridor and it takes them 5 minutes of you looking at them walking down the corridor to see the scary thing. There's just too much of that and it's irritating. But yeah, so anyway, he goes to his old house and he basically just stays there for a night on the suggestion of, I think it was a doctor, to say, look, this might help you with your trauma, you know, go back and jump in at the deep end basically. As you do. So yeah, he goes there and he spends the night. It could be more than one night. I don't think this movie has any daylight in it whatsoever. It's so dark all the time. And of course the Boogeyman comes back and torments him, and we just see him, you know, trying to be an adult and trying not to be scared. And he, along the way, he meets a young girl called Franny, and she is kind of, you know, the catalyst of, she constantly asks him about the Boogeyman, even though he's like, what Boogeyman? There's no Boogeyman. What are you talking about, small child? Pat on the head, go away. But yeah, she's like, oh, I heard your dad got killed and all this sort of stuff. And then I'm not going to really give any spoilers away and stuff like that, but she obviously has something to do with the whole Boogeyman scenario. So they kind of back and forth a few times, you know, with the information and the questions and whatnot. And then his girlfriend comes to, like, sort of help him out, I guess, you know. She's like, you shouldn't be doing this, takes him away. And then we get to the motel where they stay for the night, and it all kicks off from there. I quite like the whole back and forth of the Boogeyman exploration thing. For those of you who have seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. There is a point where people start going missing. There aren't that many people in this movie, so they really dragged it out with the people that do go missing because they don't have too many characters to mess around with. So yeah, I mean, his whole childhood friend comes back and she gets involved. Everyone's disbelieving, but he has to convince them, even though he doesn't want to convince them because he wants to be normal. Yeah, like I said, it is a slow burn. It's very dark. The whole movie is very dark. I really don't like that. I mean, I get that the darkness is where monsters live and it's meant to be scarier, so horror movies are dark and it's nighttime a lot of the time. But I don't like it when they're in a room and it's still really dark because you can't see what's going on, you know? I mean, you're surprised that they can see what's going on. They're like looking at some scary person over there and you're going, where's the scary person? Even I don't know where that person is. So that happens a lot, which is a little bit disappointing. This movie was apparently a box office success, but it got really negative reviews. I can see why. It's not too bad a watch. It's enjoyable enough. I mean, I wouldn't pay more than a £5 for it. I really wouldn't. But it's okay enough once you've given it one watch. There are when it kicks off and it gets involved, then yes, it's enjoyable. The plot is okay. The concept is nice. They do a different take on the whole boogeyman thing where I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm going to end it there because really there's not much else to say without me giving away loads of spoilers. There's not too many effects in this. There's not going to be some amazing boogeyman origins thing. And I'm telling you now, to this day, I still don't understand the ending. I really don't. I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know if it's a happy ending or not. I really don't. There wasn't much to it, let's put it that way. It just got very confusing at the end. But yeah, so that was Boogeyman 2005. I'd give it a watch. I'd give it a 3 out of 5. So yeah, I will see you next week. I can't remember the theme, but I'll see you anyway. Bye.